something. I think we're made of something.
Their separate investigations finished, all 9 people returned to where they'd left one another. So we just wasted time? Nona means 9, so the 90 game, so the 90 game, I'm not very creative. Oh, okay, I see what you mean now. Oh, okay. The Nona regame. Okay. Okay, so... Okay, I got you. Anyway, so we just wasted so much time. The result of all their work was nothing. They were completely sealed in. Their hard work had not gone completely to waste, however. They had learned a number of these things as they scoured the parts of the ship they could reach. It seemed that they were confined to decks A through C. C deck was as far down as they would be able to go, however. The reason being that D deck was completely submerged. Strangely, however, the water had risen no higher than D deck. The flow seemed to have been stopped, however, as evidenced by the surface of the water on D deck, which was as smooth as glass. Prince knelt down and gently drew his hand across it. Perhaps this Zero fellow has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door lower down. He said that our time limit was 9 hours. In other words, this water won't rise for 9 hours. Then you're saying we won't sink till then. Well, that may be a little too optimistic. No point to wishful thinking. There were 3 metal doors on C deck. A single door stood off to the side, with 2 more on the wall facing the central staircase. We're dropping frames for a moment. Give it a second. I see that we have drop frames. It's showing that it's not doing it anymore though, so hopefully we're okay. That thing kills my head, man. I gotta get a different set of earphones. Okay. They were, however, locked like the other doors. No matter how much they pushed and shoved, the doors refused to move. The mountain and the lion threw themselves against them a few times, but to no avail. The door in the back had a keyhole. Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding a dot. So the clock. So it's obviously, it looks like the clock. Oh, you got a tattoo there. Yeah. You probably can't tell because the green screen is going to make my arms look super weird. But it is a Tyrannosaurus. It's like, rah. It's a Tyrannosaurus. It's the symbol for the Red Ranger. Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. There were 2 other doors on C deck as well, but it was clear they were elevators, as each had a button next to it with an upside down triangle. They tried pushing the button. No response. Apparently there was no power running to the elevators. To the left of the elevator was a card reader. The card reader also had a strange mark on it. It looked like a lowercase h with a dash drawn across the upper stem of the H. That's not That's not, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called, but like the stars, like Virgo, Leo. Slamming your body into a door isn't how you bust open a door. You slam your foot next to the handle. True. Both ways tend to work sometimes. But the handle portion would probably work better because it would kick open the... Yeah, I see you. But that's not... that symbol is not like one of like the Leos, Tauros things. Is it? I don't think it is. Junpei stared at it for a while. This is a symbol of Saturn. Maybe it is one of those things. Or maybe it's just a symbol for Saturn in like Greek. Oh, that's Saturn! Bacon Man! Hey, how you doing? Astrological symbol, that's what I meant to say. I think that's what I meant to say. It sounds right. Then the mark on the other door. I think this was the sun symbol. Okay, I was wrong. It looked like a clock. They had seen the same symbols on A deck. There was a door on either side of the stairs. What game is that? This game is 999, also known as 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. The one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved on it. The earth symbol. Bro, Akane. Girl, you are so helpful right now. The horizontal line symbolizes the equator and the vertical one represents the prime meridian. You were thinking of Zodiac. Yes, that's what I was thinking of, Zodiac. That's what I was thinking of. Thank you. Saturn is a planetary symbol. Yeah. I understood they were different, but yeah, I was trying to think of Zodiac. You're right. Junpei looked up at the ceiling. There was a great circle cut in it, perhaps for a skylight or a glass dome, but it had been filled with a gardenate metal plate. The metal looked very solid. Anything short of an explosive charge was unlikely to damage it. There were several windows along both sides of the ship, or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates. In other words, we're trapped. All the exits go nowhere. Junpei was not happy. The girl with pink hair spoke up. Well, I'm sure they go somewhere. We just can't open them. Then the mountain spoke. You don't know that. For all we know, they just open into walls, or take us in circles. The prince did not agree. No, I'm sure they go somewhere. Otherwise, what point would there be? And we can open them. Well, 2 of them at least. You mean the numbered doors? All eyes turned toward the doors with numbers on them. I thought it was Planck's constant at first. I was like, what do you need to know? The atmosphere in the room grew tense. Hey, wait a minute. I think I said this earlier, but I don't think we should do that. The dancer moved in front of the door as if to block them. Wait, are we about to get some animation? Ah, darn. We'd have to be crazy to open these doors. If we do that, we're doing exactly what Zero wants us to do. Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once. I agree. I don't. That's a terrible idea. We should keep going. We should stay here. We don't have any other way to open any of the doors. We should just wait. Someone's bound to find us. We don't have time for that. In 8.5 hours, this ship is going to sink. The clamor of voices made it next to impossible to determine who was saying what. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another. Junpei had remained silent, but at last he could take no more. "Hey! Shut up!" They fell silent, and all eyes turned to Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch. "Before we try and decide where we're going to go, there's something else we ought to do." "What's that?" "We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about each other. I want to know who you guys are. Who you are, where you came from, why you ended up here. Don't tell me you aren't curious too." They were silent. Some of them looked the other way, or bit their lip, or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. But one of them spoke up. It was Akane. This would be better with animation. Yeah, it probably would be. Like, I would absolutely love it if, like, the narration parts you had to read, but, like, they actually spoke. I would absolutely love it. Like, this game would be, like, 10 times better by just doing that. I think Junpei is right. Junpei? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him. I just called him Junpei. His name is Junpei. She pointed towards Junpei. We're childhood friends. We went to the same elementary school. Wait, stop! Don't tell us stuff we didn't ask you about. Zero's probably watching us right now. What are you gonna do if he's listening in? Would that be bad? Hell yeah, it would. We don't know how much that bastard already knows about us. Maybe he just picked a bunch of random people to kidnap. If that is the case, then it'd be dangerous for us to let him know too much. If Zero knows who we are, he could go after our families. Maybe he'd tell us he had them to get us to do stuff, you know? But we still need to know what our names are. It's going to be hard to talk to each other if we don't have names. I'm kind of good with Mountain and Lion and Prince. I'm kind of good with that. Alright, then why don't we have code names? Yay, code names! Can he remain Mountain and Lion, Prince? To him, apparently it seemed like the obvious solution. Code names? Yeah, we'll each pick something. Like, I'll be 7. Eh. 7? Why are you 7? It seemed a fair question. The Mountain stuck out his left arm. "'Cause this bracelet's number says 7. Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea. He smirked. Alright, I'm gonna be Santa. Any of you chumps know Japanese? No? Well, San means 3, so I'll be Santa. You know, like Santa Claus. Fits, don't you think? Santa! I love it. Hang on, these code names might be good. Then your bracelet number. Yeah, it's got a 3. Good job, Grandpa. Bruh. I like Santa. He's cool. Just like Mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left arm, or his left hand. Sure enough, the face of the bracelet read 3. Very well then. I'll go next, shall I? My bracelet number is 1. Given that, I think Ace seems appropriate. I'll be Lotus. Then, as I'm sure you all know, it has 8 petals, which means, of course, that my bracelet number is 8. I would appreciate it if you would call me Snake. My bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, then I choose dice. Snake Eyes. Clearly, which is particularly relevant given that I am blind. He is blind! He's not just like Brock. Bruh, I got chills again. There are certain things that are just like really good about this game so far. Blind? Really? He'd kept his eyes closed during their entire ordeal, which had suggested something strange, but to hear it said so casually, it was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react. There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with pink hair. I want to be Clover. You know, like 4-leaf clover. Good luck, right? Looking almost bored, she held out her left hand. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet. Alright, my number's 5, so my code name's gonna be... Why have one? It's not like there's any point to it now. Yeah, we're Junpei. Wonder how Santa's name works in Japanese, where they speak... Works in Japan, where they speak Japanese. So his name would be... what was it? 6? I think he was the number 6. So his name would be like Six Claws? Maybe, ooh, that'd be cool. Six Claws. Like... The dancer cut him off in mid-sentence. I mean, we all know your name already. You're Junpei. Oh. They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously. Then you should all call me by my name too. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem... It doesn't seem fair to Jumpy. You're thinking it's not cool for you to hide your name after you told us his. Akane fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do something. What's your bracelet number? It's 6. Aw, look at her cute little sleeves. Oh, it was 3, so 3 claws. not as menacing. She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left hand. As she claimed, the bracelet's face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought, alright then, why don't we call you June? June? Yeah, you know, it's the 6th month of the year. So you're June. Jumpy. Akane kneaded her hands and looked up at Junpei, uncertain. He smiled back at her, reassuringly. Are you good with that? She thought about it for a few more minutes, then seemed to come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod. Their names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his head. 1 was Ace. 2 was Snake. 3 was Santa. 4 was Clover. 5 was Junpei's number. Akane was 6, and Junpei had given her the code name of June. Probably something completely different? Probably. 7 was 7, and 8 was Lotus. That meant that 8 of them, including Junpei, had revealed their bracelets' numbers. But there was still one person left. Oh, the guy with the glasses and the bird's nest. He was like nicknamed Bird Nest for a second. He was the man with the glasses and hair like a bird's nest. He hadn't said anything since they'd met on the stairs, and he didn't look like the sort of person who was inclined to conversation. His skin was pale, his breathing was heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. He was difficult to tell. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he had only a fingertip's worth of grip on his sanity. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on her hips, and eyed him suspiciously. "What number are you?" He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitched from person to person, and his breath came in hot pants. So if we're going to go through door 4, I'll work out what numbers work. Okay, cool, awesome, thanks. I wonder if he's probably not going to be, but just before we continue, I wonder if he's mute. We have a blind guy, so I wonder if he's mute. He's not saying anything, and he's all nervous because he's scared, but he's mute, so he's not saying anything. Which is probably not the case, and he's probably going to be super creepy, but... Hey, I'm talking to you. The man licked his lips dry with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like old paper. Nope, he's not mute. No number. Ooh, no number. That would be interesting. Isn't it obvious? There are 9 people here. And you know who's number 1 through 8 are. I'm the only one left. So you're 9? Yes. He extended a trembling arm. He is number 9. He extended a trembling arm. The bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at it contemptuously. What's your code name? Code name? What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too. I don't need one. Why not? Because I'm not going to stay here with you. He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very like disgust. You've got some sort of plan? I do. Yeah? What's that? You sure you want to know? Yeah. All right. Let me show you. I'm going to do this. Remember, he just said he's just shy. Seppuku. By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid around behind her and wrapped his arm around her waist. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? Silver, Santa, leaped forward toward Clover and the 9th man. He was halfway there when... Stay back! Suddenly the man's hand dove into his pocket. He came back out with a knife. She did. She did. I just realized I was like super close. I was getting into it. I was like, hold. He came back out with a knife, a pocket knife. He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck. If you get any closer, I'll cut her open. I'll cut her open. Santa skidded to a halt. He snarled at the scrawny man with the knife and gritted his teeth. Yes, that's right. This man's having trouble. I want to give people voices and stuff like that, but I also don't want to get too loud because I don't want to like break the mic pretty much. And I also like have trouble going back and forth between just regularly talking for the narrator and such. The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt. Clover, are you all right? Snake's voice sounded oddly concerned. Yeah, I'm fine. Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing. What the hell are you trying to do?
I told you. This is my plan.
What are you gonna do to her? Wait, 7. Who was 7? Oh, 7. What are you gonna do to her? You sick son of a bitch.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna do anything to her. If she does what I tell her to, I'll let her go.
He started to move backwards slowly, keeping his grip on Clover. Keeping their distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start at his back, touching it, then glanced around quickly and spoke.
Verify.
Huh?
The left. Look at your left. Do you see the device on the wall? Place your hand on the screen, on the scanner panel, the round part.
What if I don't? The man's nostrils flared and he looked like he was about to choke.
Are you an idiot? What do you think? I could slit your throat right now. I'll kill you if I have to.
Why he like this?
All I need is your bracelet. Just do it. Do it now.
He pressed the knife against Clover's neck hard. Slowly, she stretched her left hand toward the device. Her back was to it, and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold electronic noise, and on the display above her hand, an asterisk appeared. So that's how it works, Junpei thought to himself. By placing one's palm on what the ninth man had called the scanner panel, the user's bracelet's number could be entered into the device. Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets and find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open. Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. The number on it was 5. The ninth man seemed to know a little more about the device's operation than he should. How had he known exactly what to do? 9 plus 4 equals 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So that would mean he would need a lion to come up, because there has to be 3 people. It has to be 3 to 5 people. So he's gonna try to get Ace now. He's gonna try to get Ace to come up and do it.
Good, you're done. Next.
His bloodshot eyes crept from person to person until finally they stopped on Lion. Ace.
You, right? You're the one with the number 1 bracelet, right?
Yes, I am. So?
Then you're next. Just verify your number like this little brat did. What are you doing? Do it. Don't you care what happens to her?
Okay, just calm down. Ace held his hands palm out. The ninth man jerked his chin toward the device. Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved toward the device. After what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it.
Now verify.
Ace nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. The device beeped again, and a second asterisk appeared. Now the device had Clover and Ace's numbers, 4 and 1. 4 and 1 equal 5. The same as the number written on the door, but it wouldn't open just yet. Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door. The door needed at least one more person. Who would that be?
Get back!
His voice shook, but his knife he held to Clover's throat made his words a command. Ace took 2, then 3 steps back.
No, further! More than that! Go all the way back!
Slowly, Ace did what he was told. The ninth man's lips curled into a cruel, twisted smile. That was when Junpei understood his plan. Clover's 4 and Ace's 1 added to the ninth man's 9. 4 plus 1 plus 9 equal 14. 1 plus 4 equal 5. Zero did say some people were more familiar with the game than others. Ah. Interesting. In other words,
thank God you were all so cooperative. Now I can get out of this nightmare. He pressed his own hand against the scanner panel. A third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand to the lever on the side of the device and pulled. The door opened with a heavy metallic groan. He let go of Clover. Wait! Junpei leaped forward toward the ninth man, but he wasn't fast enough. Oh, is it a trap? The man shoved Clover. Ah! And hopped through the door. Okay, have a good one, guys. I'm off ahead now. I'm going off ahead now. Well then, goodbye. He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then he was gone. The door groaned shut with a dull clang of metal on metal. Clover! Are you all right? Snake ran to Clover's side as she lay on the floor. Yeah, I'm fine. She climbed unsteadily to her feet, and once there, leaned heavily on Snake's shoulder for support. Let's just bring along June and Santa. I don't know, 5 plus 3 plus 6 equals 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5? Junpei ran to the door. The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of the doors and of the handles and pulled. They grunted and strained, but... Shit! Shit! It won't budge! That was when Lotus, the dancer, her voice was quiet. Do you hear something? Like what? Like some sort of beeping. Junpei pressed his ear against the cold metal of the door. The others did the same. You're right. I can hear it too. What is it? Then they heard something else. It was the ninth man. Shit! Why isn't this stopping? God damn it! You lied! You lied! Lied? This wasn't supposed to happen. This is wrong. This is wrong! His voice shook with fear. Safe on the other side, they stepped back from the door and looked at one another. What is happening in there? Open the door! Please! I'm begging you! I'm glad he's about to explode, because his voice... Why did I give him that? Help me! Out of here! Get me out of here! Junpei grabbed hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened. Why didn't it register him?
He looked at the display where the asterisk had shown. It said, engaged. I died from that noise, oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god! There's no time left! Listen! I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him! Ah! All right.